Hello everybody, hello, welcome back to my channel. This is your Highland girl with her stories. And while I'm here, let me show you my neck, if you can see it. I did the thyroid removal over, it's a month and a few days, or a month and a week and a half, something like that. Didn't lose the voice. I can actually, everything is fine. All things considered, I'm fine. Doing just fine. But anyways, like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for tuning into my stories. Thank you for following me. Thank you for sharing it. And thank you for also spending your 2 cents in the comment sections. All right. So, all right. Let me tell you about something that happened 1983, July 8th, I believe, July 8th, 1983. This happened in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, in some city. Yes. So there was a power outage that night, and we were inside. Jamaicans, we tell stories. We're happy people. We didn't have TV, we didn't have phones at the time. 1983, I don't even think, there's maybe a few people who had house phones, and those are probably the middle class and going up that have a telephone, maybe, I don't know. And if you did have a phone, it's probably a phone that you could use to cover one side of your face walking around, if you know if you know those phones back in the days. So remember, there's a power outage. We don't have any phone. We don't have TV. We never own TV. And if we watch movies, it was maybe somebody's house that we would go. But at that place that I was living, I didn't go to anybody's place. We go to school and home. So come back with me. Pull up a chair. Pull up a chair. We're in the house, and we're doing riddles, like riddle me this, riddle me that, guess me this riddle and perhaps not. One of the riddle was, what did the carpet say to the floor? And if you didn't know what the carpet said to the floor, it says, don't move, I've got you covered. That night, everybody was not going to be covered. And we would talk ghost stories, dopey stories. Also that night, we didn't know that one person in the house was going to become a ghost. It was going to go poof, and everything was going to change that night. So we heard knock, knock on the door. And she looked at me, I looked at her 11-year-old daughter. I was 15. She's 32. And my younger brother was 10 months old. So who's gonna come there and call? So she said, who is it? And the guy said, XYZ, I am here to tell you something, because they used to talk during the day and stuff like that, and they were somewhat friends. And so she said, oh, okay, and she was going towards the door. I stopped her and I said, remember, we don't have any light is already gone, and we don't have any light because of the power outage. We had a lamp inside that wasn't bright enough to see it. Everything was going on. So I said, no, don't open the door. Something in my spirit don't feel right. Do not open that door. So she said, okay, all right. T, I'm coming to the window. Come and talk to me to the window. Now, I'm a kid, so of 15, yeah, I wasn't grown, so I didn't know to tell her not to go to the window. She was older, she's mother, so she didn't know not to go to the window as well. So she went to the window. And the person says, now open the window. And she was about to open the louver window. It's one of those where you spin like this and the louver open, this wide, and And I stopped her again. I said, you don't have to open the window to hear what he's saying outside. He's right by the window. Let him talk and you can hear. I wasn't talking that loud, so they didn't realize that I was intercepting her every time she want to do something. I was stopping her. Don't know why I was stopping her, but I was doing it. So I was like, no, don't open the window. And she said, okay, talk to me through the window. Then I hear our voice said, you're not gonna open the this, that window. And when they said this, that, the wara, tara, not, it's like the big cloth and the raw cloth and the red cloth and the blood cloth. The material, yes, right? So I was like, wow. So she started to feel funny now, like, okay, something is wrong. And she said, help, murder. But guess what? The closest person to us at the time was the same guy who came and knocked the door. So who was she calling murder for? Who was she calling help for? Nobody would have heard, because the closest neighbor was the same guy outside. And then I hear clock shy, and she fell to the floor. And I looked down on her. I didn't hear any sound outside anymore, but I'm looking down on her, and blood is just running. She's not moving. She's not beating her. She's not trembling. She's not doing anything. The fire, because they were listening to see where she was. And even though the window was not open, when they fired the shot, it got her in her mouth and it blew everything out. She died instantly. She fell to the floor. Her daughter ran up to me and said, Mom is dead. And I said, shh. And she said, are you telling me, shh? Mom is dead. Mom is dead. And I grab her up. I remember doing this. And I pull her in towards me and I said, if you say it one more time, we both will be dead in here. And I let her loose. She walked away and she walked into the bathroom. When she walked into the bathroom, she stepped into the tub and she laid down in the tub. When I walk away and I follow her, walk back into the bathroom to see what she was doing, she was in the tub. And I call her and she did not respond. So I was like, she fall asleep real quick. That's what in my mind, that the kid fall asleep real quick. The baby is now crying like it was crying. When I said the baby is crying as if he knew something was wrong. But I know the bullet, the gunshot, the sound of the gun, I think, scared him as well. 10 months old, so he's crying and he's crying and just crying for mama. So now I had to step across the body to where she was lying down on the ground. I had to step to go get this child off the bed, and the baby was just crying. Now my entire body felt like someone hold me and was just shaking me like this. My head, every part of me was just shaking. And I did not know how to calm it down. I did not know how to stop it. I just didn't know what to do. And so I took the baby off the bed. I walked into the kitchen and I made him a bottle. And I took him into the bathroom, grab a towel and spread the towel in the bathroom, and I put him on the towel to lay down in the bathtub beside his sister. Now I'm walking around and I'm shaking, but I'm trying to figure out what to do. I remember standing on the dining table because I thought if I tried to get through the ceiling, I think that, if I could get to the ceiling, I could climb through the ceiling. And even if I was just gonna go up there and go sit, I just want to get out of this space that I was in, the space with the woman in the next room that was dead. I just want to get out of that space. I don't want to be there. And I was just shaking so bad. But I couldn't reach the ceiling. The ceiling was a vaulted ceiling, so I couldn't reach anything, and I couldn't jump up in the air. And my body was just shaking. My legs was just shaking. I don't even know how I managed to even climb on the table. So I walked into the bathroom and I sat on the toilet seat, and my body shook and trembled until I slide off. So now I'm just like this on the floor. And so something said, squeeze yourself between the toilet tank and the wall. So my shoulder is up against the toilet, the toilet tank, and the other shoulders rest in between on the wall. So it's a tight space because it wasn't like a big house, so it's a tight space, and I squeezed myself in there. So from my shoulder to my waist, I think, was a bit steady, and from my thighs going down to my legs was just flopping around like when water, like the fish out of water. So I was just flopping around like this, and it was a bad thing. Anyways, I sat there and watched my legs flutter around, like, as I said, fish out of water. In my book, The Tears Behind My Smile, I said I felt like I was being electrocuted with no one to help me. That's exactly how I felt, because I was shaking so much and every part of my body was just shaking, and I just wanted to stop shaking. Then after I sit down and I watch my feet stop fluttering on the floor, but when you're cold and you feel the shivering, and so I was just still like shaking, but not as beating and fluttering around on the floor like before. So my body is sort of calmed down because of the tight space that I pushed myself into. Then I heard the same people come back calling, and I was like, Lord, I was like, our Father, what in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses against us. So I was saying, I'm saying the Our Father prayer. That's all I could say. And I didn't answer, and it went away. So maybe 20 to 25 minutes later, somebody knocked on the door again, and this time it was my father coming home from work or wherever he was, and he knocked the door, and I said, who is it? And he said, it's me. And I said, who and you? Are you with somebody outside? Are you alone? Because now, if he said he was by himself, if he said he was with somebody else, I'm sorry, nobody was coming in there that night. So he started to get irritated, and like, why you question, and he just cut him some more pieces, the B cloth again, and he just cutting up a lot of material, right? The red cloth, the B cloth, the hard cloth, whatever, and he's just cutting them up, right? So like, oh Lord. So I was like, okay, he's by himself. So I opened the door with one hand, grab him with the other. That night I had strength. I don't know where I got those strengths from, but that night I got strength. So when I grab him, I drag him in, and like, boom, drag him in and close the door, lock, boom, boom, lock. And then he said, what's wrong? Why are you behaving so strange? What's going on? And I said, Mom is dead. And he said, what? And I said, Mom is dead. He said, what? And I spin him around and push him in the room with a dead body on the floor. And so he went over her, knelt down by her side and called her, and he called her, and he picked up her hand and let it go, and it just go back down, and he opened the eyes, and the eyes roll all the way back, and he looked upon me and he said, she's dead. And he said, I need to go get help. Remember now, we don't have any cell phone, we don't have any house phone. The nearest person that was a neighbor, that the same neighbor that come and call before the gunshot go off, and that was the only person we probably could have called, but didn't want to call him because he was the one who came calling when all of that went down. Everything just went like, 1 minute you're here, the next minute you're gone, right? So I was like, oh my God, I don't know. So he opened the door and he said, murder, help. And then he slammed the door shut. And then he opened the door again. And he said, murder, help. And he slammed it and lock again. Then he turned around. And you tell me if I'm wrong. He turned around to me and he said, I need to go get help. When I open the door next time, if they're out there now waiting for me to open the door again, prepare yourself to die. And I was like, what are you talking about, Willis? Prepare myself to die. Whew. No. Who does that? Was he thinking, or is that something that you think that he should tell me to prepare myself to die? Because when you open the door, anything can happen. That's what he said. When I open the door, anything can happen. So make up your mind that when I open the door, that if they're out there, they're gonna just kill everybody. So when he opened the door, I push him out and lock the door. When he opened the door, I go poof, and just lock the door. And I heard when he ran off, he took off and running. He took off running. And anyways, he ran, and he claimed that when he was running, he run past a van, like a open back truck. He run past it, and they drive him down like, hey man, why you running? Why you running so hard? And he said he want to go to the police station. And so they helped him to get to the police station, but he claimed that it felt like they were even driving slower than he could run. But he would probably, run out of breath before he get to the police station. So he went, and the police came back, and when the police came, they come knocking. And I'm like, who is it? The police. And I said, I did not hear the siren. I did, but it's like I blotted out. So I said, for me to open this door, you have to turn the siren on again. And the light, I need to see the flashing light from the bathroom window. And that's what they did. They turned it on, and I see the flashing light. And so I opened the door. They came in to assess what was going on. When they walked in, they said, yes, she's dead. And I left that house, and when I left that house, I'd never go back. The few pieces of clothes that I remember grabbing, that was it, because I'll never go back to that house. Whatever, if I had something there that I liked, that I didn't like anything else from that house, so I didn't go back. And I know you guys going like, oh my God, why did they kill her? Well, I'm gonna have to tell you that in the next chapter, in the next part of the story, because I know you want to hear part 2. And by the way, the book, as I said, that the Tears Behind My Smile, this story is in there. This story is in there. That night, I felt like I was being electrocuted. I put that in the book, as I said. I put in the book that I felt like I was being electrocuted with no one to help me. And yeah, that's my story. That's part of the story. And if you want to read the full thing and, just support the book, go to Amazon, go to Barnes and Noble, go to Goodread, go to Kindle, and you can listen to it while you're busy listening. You can listen to it, and a lot more. So support the Jamaican girl, man. Support the little Butterfoot girl with her stories. And remember to like, share, and remember to subscribe. And remember to turn on your notification bell for when these things comes out. Then you can get to watch it. And I don't know, when my eyes get tired, they don't want to stay open, and sometimes I just close them. So I removed the thyroid because it was damaging the eyes, and but guys, thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. And remember to come back for the next part of why they kill her, because they killed her, right? They killed her for a reason, and I almost get caught up in there. But as I said, if you want to know the rest of it, come back for the next part. So, thank you for stopping by. Thank that you pull up your chair. And I know your socks up maybe finished. So what good you're here and come back for part 2 of 1983 tragedy. Tragic tragedy.